Everybody was sending me those Dan Soder Macho Man clips this week. They went viral, and maybe that's why they decided to capitalize on that and announce a new Macho Man biopic. All right, folks, breaking news. This is just hitting today on Deadline.com that there's news of a Kenan Thompson biopic on the Macho Man Randy Savage. Exclusive to Deadline. This is all coming from Matt Grobar. His article on the website says Artists for Artists, which is Kenan Thompson's production company, along with Johnny Ryan Jr., says they're developing a feature biopic on iconic wrestler Macho Man Randy Savage. How cool is this? And it's interesting. It says that Thompson has worked with Savage in a Nickelodeon promo back in 1999. I found it. It's the Kids' Choice Awards from 1999, and there's a YouTube channel called NWO Wolfpack TV 2016 that's got a clip up on there, and I'll try to highlight it in this video and hope that I don't get flagged. But this is big news, and I love reading that Kenan Thompson, of course, is a big fan, and it needs the Hollywood treatment. The Macho Man story, if anybody's going to do it right, it needs to be big budget. It needs to be done by a wrestling fan, and it needs to be done in that Hollywood style. This should be a big budget film. Although maybe you don't think big budget when you read that the project stems from a completed script by Savage's brother, the genius Lanny Poffo. And I love that. Who else could tell the story of the Macho Man more poetic than the genius? It says he co-wrote it with Eric Shapiro, who is another writer, Hollywood writer that maybe if you're into film, you know that name. It says he's had several projects in development for WWE over the years. So good to read that. I think that's exciting. There's a lot more Hollywood names in here. I'm not a movie person, and I couldn't even tell you like what current actor would be a good fit for Macho Man. But of course, the other thing that I can't help but think is who's going to play Miss Elizabeth. You know, big Miss Elizabeth fan. If you've watched any of my videos, you can go and check out my video on her exhibit in her hometown of Frankfort, Kentucky. But who could possibly capture the timeless beauty of Miss Elizabeth? Let me know in the comments. I really don't have any idea. I'm not a big Hollywood guy, but I really love that this seems to be capitalizing on not only the popularity of wrestling, but you know, we had the Iron Claw a few years ago, and Queen of the Ring came out this year. And who could play the Macho Man? I just know nobody was really polite to our friend that played Ric Flair in the Iron Claw. And so whoever is going to fill those wrestling boots, if you will, to portray the Macho Man has got their work cut out for them. What do you think will be in there and what won't be in there? You know, obviously we're going to see him playing baseball. I think that's one of the more relatable, but littler known things about the Macho Man. Is there going to be a Slim Jim in there? You know, is he going to be the NWO? Are we going to see him as part of Spider-Man, an actor playing Macho Man in a movie on Spider-Man? Or are they going to show him backstage at Baywatch? Wasn't he on that Hulkster Baywatch episode? And maybe even on the Sting show, the show that Sting and Hogan did. Thunder in Paradise, was Macho in one of those too? But that was the real life Macho. This is a biopic, and we've seen the story told. It mentions in this article that they've done A&E biographies, WWE legends on the Macho Man. Of course, Dark Side of the Ring is not mentioned in the article, but the love story of Liz and Randy was told in a Dark Side of the Ring episode as well. But really anxious to see what they come up with based off the script of Lanny Poffo. And you know I'm going to be first in line to go see it. I love anytime pro wrestling crosses over into the mainstream and has been doing that more so lately, it seems, more and more lately. So if we get any more announcements on the cast or potential news about the movie, I'll probably talk about it here on the channel. Thanks for coming back. My name's Adam, ring announcer, wrestling fan, and collector here in the Mountain State. Hope to see you next time. Hope to see you at the movies. Hope to see you at the matches.
Do you know what else you get for being the winner?